unbelievable. And then that's pretty much it, I reckon. The roundup. Mana Martinez defeated Guido Canetti, Pat Sabatini. Oh, we're going to talk about that. Harrington was jumping in with that. Yeah, the heel hook. I talk about it all the time, and I talked about it Saturday night because he had a toe hold on, who did he fight? Guido Canetti. It was Jamal Emmers, Guido Canetti. They went to the floor, whatever the sequence was, and Jamal was going for a toe hold. And I even said, because Brendan Fitzgerald goes, he's got the toe hold. I said, yeah, toe hold, Schmo hold. Because Guido was going for it. I did. I said it on there. We got sound on this, but look at this. So look, I did. I said, toe hold, Schmo hold, man, because I'm telling you, the heel hook is a career ender. Press play.
For Emmers versus heel hook attempt for Sabatini.
Yeah, but that toe hold's tighter right now, right, Mike?
Yeah, but toe hold, schmo hold.
Yes.
You know,
is that what they call it?
Yeah, well, listen, it's a little bit of pain.
Painful, yeah. You can hurt the ankle a little.
Emmers forced to tap. Pat Sabatini.
Thanks, Brian. See, that's the thing, and I've seen it so many times in training. In training, honestly, like when I used to train back in England, and people are a little bit too proud for their own good in training. You know what I mean? You're rolling against someone, you know, and let's say there's someone in the gym or on the mat that, you know, you guys are really competitive. You always have, you know, close matches. You don't want to tap to that guy. So the pride takes over. But if somebody gets you in the heel hook position, I used to always just tap, because I've seen that in the gym so many times where people don't tap because you're good. You're good. The toe hold doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt until it just fucking annihilates the inners of your knee. There's no pain, and then there's just total destruction. It's not like it's just a bolt of lightning comes out of the blue. There's nothing, and then everything blows. So if somebody gets you in the the heel hook position, you just got in training. I was going, all right, fair enough. You got it. I'm not playing.
Well, in a lot of jiu-jitsu schools, they don't even let you do heel hooks or toe holds. As like a white belt, you have to be more experienced.
In amateur MMA as well. Well, certainly in the UK. I don't know about the States, obviously, because I wasn't doing amateur here. But I know they don't even allow heel hooks in amateur MMA because it's so dangerous. You know, the toe hold, yeah, great. You can get a submission, but you're just going to get a bit of pain with the toe hold. You know, and you might do a little bit of damage. I remember I was actually in New Orleans, funnily enough, a long time ago, doing a seminar. And I was at the end of my seminars, I used to do a little thing where I go around and tap everyone out in the room one by one because they all want to roll with you, so they can go home and tell everyone. And there was one guy who was on the floor, like with his open guard, and he had his foot there. So I just grabbed and did a rolling heel hook. But I put a little bit too much pressure into it. I went. I just like, I was like, oh fuck! I was like, oh shit! I think I'm just taking this fucking.
Get out of here.
I'm just crunched. There was a lot of crunching going on in that foot. I'm like, are you okay? I was terrified because it's a seminar. It's not a good look. You're not supposed to be doing that to these old guys. Still, but yeah, great fight. Saturday night. Should we get into this Jake Paul stuff?
We have to. Let's do plugs real quick before we change gears here. You love the show, go to our YouTube, subscribe. Leave us a 5-star rating on iTunes as well, Google Play, really anywhere you get the podcast, and download and subscribe to it. You guys love the positivity and the positive comments. Always incredible. Thank you so much for all of that. You guys get the entire on-demand library. Every episode of the show that we've ever done is all available, ad-free, uncensored, and in one place. Hundreds of episodes, all available at gasdigitalnetwork.com. Use the promo code BYM. Get a 7-day free trial. You get instant access to everything and all the other shows on the network as well. Live stuff coming up. I'm officially coming to England with Michael Bisping to open up for him for an evening with Michael Bisping Tales from the Octagon. So you can get tickets at myticket.uk.co.
No, myticket.co.uk. It's okay, Luz. Don't worry about it. Just leave that bit to me.
I really do try.
Dublin 100% sold out. London, we were going to do 2 nights there, but we switched one night to, instead of 2 in London, we're going to do an extra one in Birmingham. So if you're in the Birmingham area, there's tickets available, myticket.co.uk. Glasgow, Manchester, Dublin, London, Birmingham, Manchester, Glasgow. There you go. And by the way, little competition time. If you want 2 tickets, and let's say you can't afford them, or you just want to win some, if you do a little video as to why you should be the recipient of 2 tickets to one of those venues other than Dublin, because that's sold out. In fact, fuck it, we'll throw Dublin on there as well, because I've got a few personal bad boys. You take 2 of my personals. Any of those cities, all you got to do is do a video saying why you should be the recipient. Could be funny, could be heartfelt, could be a good reason, could be boring, whatever. And tag me and hashtag Tales of the Octagon. I'll watch all the videos, and the winner gets 2 tickets that's available for every city, and I'll play the video on my Instagram as well. Maybe get you a few followers, and you get some free tickets. And you can buy a ticket at myticket.co.uk. But there you go. Anyway.
Also, I got some live stuff coming up as well. I'll be down in Austin September 30th through October 2nd at the Creek in the Cave in Austin, Texas. Check me out there. Some other stuff coming up. I got gigs in Long Island, maybe out in Ontario, California. I'll be in Toronto coming up in December. Lots of stuff coming up, guys. Go to lewisofskanks.com and grab tickets for any of my live shows.
Alrighty. So I flew into Cleveland, and we did the, I went to the fight. I gotta say, it was good. It was a good night. Where should we start? I mean, we'll just go through those earlier fights. There was some good fights, some good boxing, I thought. We're not going to break them all down too much, but I enjoyed. There was Montana Love taking on Ivan. I think it's Barachanko. Some.
That was a good fight.
Yeah, from Belarus. That was a fucking great fight.
Yeah, the Russian guy had crazy power, and it was exciting because he was creating moments. But yeah, the other dude.
Montana Love. Yeah, he got him out of there. That was a great fight. And then there was a female fight, and Amanda Serrano. She was the winner. I gotta say, fuck me, that was a great fight. But I do have a slight issue with that fight.
What's that?
What do you think the issue is?
You don't respect women.
It's actually the opposite. It's the opposite. I do respect women greatly, and that's where the issue comes in.
Okay, please.
Equality. They were only doing 2-minute rounds.
Were they?
The women's fight was only 2-minute rounds.
That's some old school shit.
Yeah, it is. I mean, in the UFC, we could do 5-minute rounds. You know what I mean?
Do you remember back in the day when, Gina Carano was champion back in the day? They were doing 3-minute rounds.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and I remember it was like, it's literally just stupid. Yeah, that's not like the cardio and being athletically able to handle the extra minute, the extra 2 minutes of time. I don't think that's really an issue at all. It just seems like you're sort of you're making the fans miss out, and it's just some more action.
Yeah, and then potentially taking away the possibility of a finish as well. But still, don't want to harp on the negatives too much. That was just one little gripe that I had. But still, great fight. Amanda Serrano won.
How often does that happen? Do you know?
I don't know. I'm going to shock you now. I don't watch too much women's boxing.
I bet it happens. I bet it's probably just regularly within the rules.
I don't know. Maybe, I'm assuming it is. But still, there was that. And then what was the co-main? Oh, fucking the boy from England, Daniel Dubois. My God, he's good. He is good. Went out there, knocked out his opponent, Joe Cusimano, first round. Daniel Dubois, one loss on his record to Joe Joyce, got a fractured orbital and stayed down on one knee. Prior to that, he knocked everybody out, pop bar one. Since then, he's rebounded. He's had 2 quick knockouts as well. So Daniel Dubois, keep an eye out for that guy, repping the UK in a big, big way. So shout out him. Do you know, he's a very, very shy guy, and I was talking to someone last night. He doesn't even have a cell phone. Can you believe that?
Awesome.
Yeah, it does in a kind of way. I remember when my phone broke on holiday, I had no contact. But he has no social media, he has no phone, he has nothing. He does have a social media presence. I'm letting the cat out the bag here, but that's his promoters and stuff. They all do it for him. You know, build an online profile. But not even a cell phone. Very interesting.
Yeah, good for him. I mean, obviously very satisfied with his life in a lot of ways.
Yeah, exactly. No. It was just interesting. I just found that interesting.
Probably a fucking weirdo. Probably a weird guy to hang out with.
The Bourbon Street bitch. I'm not calling Daniel Dubois a bitch. I don't know why I said that.
All right, just let's take a moment and thank Paleo Valley for supporting today's show. Paleo Valley makes incredible 100% grass-fed beef sticks. You guys know, if you're on a diet, if you guys are exercising, if you're just trying to be healthy in general, Beef jerky is probably already a part of your diet. It's quick, it's fast, you grab a bag of it, it's really available anywhere you go. You can be at a gas station in the middle of the country and find some beef jerky. You can be up in the mountains and find some beef jerky. But a lot of the times when you get that stuff, you don't know what's in it. It's a lot of chemicals, it's a lot of preservatives, it's a lot of stuff you don't want to put in your body. This is why you want to order from Paleo Valley. They have incredible products that taste great, that are super healthy and 100% organic and keto friendly, by the way.
Yeah, very keto friendly. And grass-fed beef, why is it so important? Well, 100% grass-fed beef contains more calcium, magnesium, potassium, zinc, and a ton of other stuff. And by the way, did you know that the 100% grass-fed beef sticks are made 100% in the USA? Grass-fed finished beef and all organic spices. Virtually every other similar snack stick product uses GMO corn, GMO corn, I'll take some of that, GMO corn, or soy-based citric acid encapsulated in hydrogenated oils to process their products. Yucky, yuck, yuck. That sounds like cancer on a stick. That's what you say. You want grass-fed beef sticks, you don't want cancer on a stick. Try these out. They taste delicious as well. That's one of the main things. Very convenient snack when you're on the go. So yeah, listen, give these things a go. All you're going to do is go to paleovalley.com. That's P-A-L-E-O Valley.com. Paleovalley.com is the website. And Believe 15 is the order. It's going to give you 15% off. And it's also going to let Paleo Valley know that we sent you there. So yeah, you support us, you support your bank, you support your wallet, and you support your intestines as well, because you're not putting nastiness in there. Paleovalley.com, Believe 15, 15% off. Okay, let's get back into it. Main event, Tyron Woodley, Jake Paul. I knew it was going to happen. I knew. I said. I alluded. I went up as, I'm such a little pussy. I'm such a little bitch. I went as close as I could with saying it, but I knew Tyron was going to lose this fight because he doesn't fight. And there was a tweet going around everywhere. I mean, he does fight. He's a very dangerous person. He's a dangerous person when he lets it go, you know, but he's a victim of his own success, of his own power. He wants that one shot, you know. And I kind of knew going into it, you know, just having a really, really powerful overhand right or a powerful left hook, just having power in general. And of course he has technique as well when he throws. That doesn't make you a boxer. You know what I mean? Whilst Jake Paul isn't a fucking tremendous boxer, he's a bigger dude, he is taller, he's longer, and he does generally have higher output. And that's what we saw Saturday night. Jake just had the higher output. He wasn't the better boxer necessarily, but he threw more and he landed more. Not much more, but he landed more. And Tyron, for the most part, just waiting for that perfect opportunity. And I just didn't want to say that publicly because I wanted him to win. I wanted him to do well, and I didn't want to put that negativity out there, but
I don't know, you have a relationship with the guy, and the reality is you're wishing him the best. So you don't, you know, you're not trying to be like, oh, I told you so. It's not important. This is actually a good quality that you have. It's not more important for you to be right than it is to be a good friend.
Yeah, well, no, absolutely, yeah. Thank you for putting it that way, because that's kind of what it came down to. Because you know, it's not about me being right. You know what I mean? I did fear in the back of my mind that that's what was going to happen. You know, Tyron definitely had his moments, but he just every round was close. Every round was definitely close. You know what I mean? It's not like Tyron got beat up. Far from it. In fact, if anyone was more scared or intimidating, it was Tyron. You know, but he just didn't throw enough. And guess what? In boxing, you win by throwing your hands. And I've seen a tweet doing the rounds everywhere. I don't know who wrote it first, but everyone's copying it and saying Tyron Woodley, the only type of guy to not throw hands in a sport that's only about throwing hands, because he didn't do it enough. When he did, he looked dangerous. He looked very dangerous and explosive and fast. But you got to put combinations together. He needed to cut off the ring, force him into the corner, take away the reach advantage. What Tyron was doing, Jake's the taller, longer guy, as I just said, right? And so Tyron's standing at range, right? Just outside of range where the taller guy can't catch him. So then Jake was coming in with a jab, right? And then at that point there, Tyron's trying to counter. Well, Jake is at the end of his jab. It's full extension. So Tyron's not close. So Tyron can't actually physically reach him there, but he's trying to throw punches. He's trying to counter everything. He was trying to counter Jake Paul. When you're the shorter guy, that's not what you do. When you're the shorter guy, you got to press the action. Think back to Mike Tyson back in the day. You know, you see the training footage now when he was younger. That amazing head movement drills that he would do, side to side, in, fast, boom, 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 boom. That's what you got to do. You can't stand on the outside and look to counter. So the game plan was kind of flawed coming in from the get-go. And then on top of that, the output just wasn't there.
I feel like the frustrating thing about Tyron is that he did look like he had all of the physical attributes to beat Jake Paul in that fight. Like, if he would have went for it at any point in that fight, I feel like he could have pressured Jake Paul, because Jake, when Jake was being pressured, there was a couple moments, obviously in round 3, right? That was the big moment where he knocked him down. No, it was round 4 where he knocked him down. I thought he won round 3. I thought he won round 4. Those were the only 2 rounds that I thought that he won. I think that one of the judges, Tyron was complaining about one of the judges only giving 2 rounds. Those are the 2 that I thought he won. I thought that Jake, honestly, the big difference was Jake was using the jab the whole time. It wasn't that Jake was doing anything that crazy. You know, he looked more beat up. Jake was the worse for wear. Jake was retreating more. Tyron was taking the center of the ring. But Jake was just landing that jab so much more, and it was frustrating for Tyron. It's like, Tyron, what are you doing, dude? Just start swinging on this guy. He's obviously fears your power. He's backing up away from you. He's intimidated by you. It was just sort of frustrating, and I don't know if Tyron thought he was winning. He threw his hands up at the end like he won, and I was like, what? Like everyone, my son, who's 8, was like, what?
Oh, really? Yeah, well, that's not a good sign. I mean, the thing is, that's what they do. Whenever it's a close, because the reality is, it was close, right? I'm not here to shit on Tyron Woodley, and I wish him all the best. And by the way, I was with his manager, Malky Kawa. He gave me a ride over to the arena. He was staying at the same hotel as me. And Malky, I've known him for a while. He's manager to a lot of big names, Joel Romero, Jorge Masvidal, as well as tons of other fighters and tons of other athletes. So shout out Malky for giving me a ride over. I was waiting for a car to get there, and he stepped up and he was telling me, and I won't go into details because it's none of my business to talk about. But we did talk about what Tyron would be generating for this fight, and it's a fucking large number. So well done to Tyron. But I'm not here to shit on him. But he's walking away from that with a lot of money. But yeah, I kind of forgot my point. What I was going to say.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Oh no, it was close. That's what. It was every round was close. Every round was close. But I agree with you 100%. It was round 3 and round 4 that Tyron won. Other than that, I thought Jake won all the other rounds. And I saw somebody posted the actual official scorecards on Twitter, and that's how the 2 judges that gave it to Tyron saw it. Complete shutout, apart from those 2 rounds, and the other guy obviously gave Tyron more rounds.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I heard that, and I was like, I mean, what was he saying? I mean, I guess... I don't also understand the nuance of boxing judging. I don't really understand the nuance of MMA judging that well, to be honest. But with boxing, like, how much more do power shots mean than jabs and non-power shots? So I guess Tyron did land the bigger shots throughout the fight, and he did take the center of the ring. I don't know how much that is taken into account in boxing judging.
Yeah, well, I don't have the rules in front of me, the definition of the scorecards, the breakdown of the rule set right now. But Jay landed some good power shots as well. Tyron was looking for the uppercut. That was nice. Oh, no, Jake was looking for the uppercut, pardon me. No, Jake definitely landed some good shots as well. But yeah, you're right. It was more volume, output, and tempo from Jake as opposed to a few power bombs on the side of Tyron Woodley. And I kind of knew that was going to be the case going in. Yeah. What do you think? Do you think he gets the tattoo or not?
Okay, so yeah, all right. So let's give a little insight. If you didn't watch,
can we play the video as well? Do we have the post-fight speech, or can we play that on YouTube?
Yeah, that moment. I mean, I hope I don't want to get copyright stricken. Yeah. But before the fight, they both made an agreement in one of the final press conferences that the loser would get "I love the other one's name" tattooed on their body somewhere, right?
And by the way, it was all Jake's idea.
It was all Jake's idea.
And that's a ballsy one, because I'll tell you what, I was thinking about this. I wouldn't take that bet. Even though I would go into a fight with Jake or whoever it is, and you're always confident coming into a fight unless you're not, right? But generally, even if you are supremely confident and you know you're going to win this fight, and they were at a press conference and they said to me, make a bet, I'd say, fuck no. No way. I'm going to kick your ass, but I don't need some stupid childish bet as motivation. Well, I wouldn't do it. I would not do it. But the way, I'll let you speak. But the way Jake did it was kind of masterful. He kind of backed Tyron into a corner, and he said, "Well, if you're so confident, take the bet. And Tyron kind of, I'm not going to say fell for it, but he said, "All right, cool," because his confidence was there as well. So now he's in this position where he lost the fight, and he's saying he wants to run it back. By the way, I don't think anyone wants to see that again. There was a fair amount of booing going on as well in the audience, because there were some exciting moments. There were some down moments where there wasn't too much action. Listen, I don't think people want to see that, but still.
Jake is trying to regularly create viral moments, meme moments. He doesn't really give a shit about that stuff. Like, here's the thing. Here's what Jake has. He has a sense of humor, right? So he's talking shit to Tyron, and he's like, oh, yeah, I want that butt. And he's making these jokes. And, like, Tyron even at one point had to stop himself. He was like, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get me to, but I'm not going to say it. It's like, Tyron, you can't not call him gay or the F word. Stop falling for his shit, like, obviously, right? So, like, Jake is making those jokes. He doesn't really give a shit. If Jake loses, he has this tattoo that says, I love Tyron Woodley. That's just a story for him. He's got a billion dumb fucking tattoos probably. He's probably gotten tattoos for his YouTube channel, right? None of it really matters. Tyron's not getting a dumb tattoo on him.
No, for Jake, he'd probably wear that with pride.
Yeah, it'd be hilarious.
Look back and say, oh, yeah, no. I remember I had that big fight with Tyron Woodley. It was massive pay-per-view on Showtime. Yeah, well, that was... And to be honest, it would be a cool story.
I have a Milo and Otis tattoo. Do you know how many dumb tattoos I have?
Oh, I do. I mean, I've never studied it, but I can well imagine. But still, for Tyron, because he's a little more proud and he takes himself a little bit more too serious. Not too serious, a little more serious.
So in the ring after the fight, Tyron's like, I feel like we got to run it back. Logan Paul starts laughing in his face there. It's just embarrassing, to be honest with you. Like, nobody really is looking for Tyron Woodley to fight Jake Paul again. But Jake Paul goes, all right, we'll run it back if you get that tattoo you said you'd get. So Tyron's like, bet, okay. Because from Tyron's mind, he goes, all right, dude, well, I just made however much money Malky Calwa told Bisping he made.
A lot of money. You could get a lot of tattoos removed with that amount of money.
And that's the point. Worst case scenario, he'll get it changed, covered up. It doesn't really matter. He will get it covered up at one point. This is the moment, yeah.
Let's have a look.
If you get the tattoo,
I'm not scared running back.
If you get the tattoo, I love Jake Paul. Let's run it back.
Bet.
Look at Logan.
Let's go.
Oh my God, this is the dumbest thing ever. I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, number one, it's not going to happen because I don't believe the reality is, of course, Tyron wants to do that. Of course, Jake wants to do it to a certain degree as well because he beat him once, probably thinks I'll beat him again. But I don't think the appetite is there for the pay-per-view market and the Showtime executives. They just did it, It wasn't. If that was a sensational fight, if that was a barn burner and it was truly close, then maybe. But I just don't think the appetite for the buying public would be there.
I agree. I don't see them running it back. I mean, look, the reality is I think Jake Paul fights anybody in the world right now. He's going to sell however many pay-per-views. He's going to be a pay-per-view star. The people want to watch this guy fight. And here's what I'll say. I got to give credit to Jake Paul because Jake Paul is coming along nicely. He looked good at that fight. I know that he was fighting Tyron Woodley, and Tyron Woodley never really pulled the trigger. But at the same time, it's like this is what he's supposed to be doing, fighting guys that are better each time. We'll see who he's going to fight next. It is interesting. I want to get your opinion on that, obviously. But I think Jake Paul will continue to get better because I think he looked better in this fight. We didn't get to really see him in the Ben Askren fight, but he looked substantially better in this fight than he looked against the basketball player that he fought. He's progressing. He's a young, athletic dude who has got a lot of money, real training partners, real coaches. All that shit matters. If you really just put your focus and mind to it, why not, dude?
Yeah. No, absolutely. One person we never mentioned, we should have done, Tyson Fury's brother, Tommy Fury. Yeah. He was on there Saturday night. And to be honest, they seem to be at a crossroads, and they actually had a run-in with one another backstage. And then that was definitely going to be a viral moment. They were talking shit to one another. Security had to get involved and whatnot. Tommy Fury, Tyson's little brother, he's won a few fights now. I forget what his record is. 7-0 now. But I'll be honest, Saturday night, I don't think. See, they were destined. They were on a crossroads. They looked like they were going to be on a collision course. But I don't think, and I'm not hating on Tommy Fury, he's a young boxer, and he's clearly athletic. I mean, Jesus Christ, have you seen the physique on the guy? My God, it's pretty amazing to see that Tyson Fury and Tommy Fury came from the same gene pool. Do you know what I mean? Because Tyson Fury has been way out of shape.
It's like twins, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito.
Yeah, it really is. Tommy Fury looks like he's fucking carved out of fucking granite. But he's a young boxer. We had a big opportunity here against a guy that was way smaller than him, who only had one boxing fight, who is an MMA fighter. There he is on the scale.
Handsome guy.
The handsome guy, beautiful guy.
Beautiful guy. Yeah.
Like that guy.
But hair, look at that face. Let's go.
Tommy cut 20 pounds to make the weight. He's way.
What was the weight?
I forget now, but still. But in the ring, he looked significantly better, and he should have taken that guy out. Really, he should have. What was his name? I forget. Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor. He should have taken him out. And if he hadn't done, then he could have made a case to fight Jake next. And you never know. Maybe they do that. But realistically, that's what Jake should do. And we'll move on from this in a second. But that's what Jake should do. He should fight now another boxer. But the problem is another boxer low down at at his level of the career. His level of boxing isn't really a pay-per-view star. That's why he's taking these MMA guys, because they're marquee names. They have name value and they can sell pay-per-view. And it's good for Jake because it keeps the hype train going. It keeps the momentum going. If he goes up against another boxer that's 4-0, okay, Jake is by far the A side and he's the guy that's going to sell it. But if you want that story, you want that sizzle, you want to get the public emotionally involved, that, oh, hold on, this might be the one where the problem child gets put on his face. This might be the one where he gets knocked out and made a fool of. That's what sells. That's what people want to tune in for. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure Tommy Fury would be the guy. But still, either way, listen, can't hate on the guy. What he's doing is he's turned himself into a fucking big joy in boxing. And, God bless him. You can't hate on the entrepreneurship of it. You really can't.
Well, so Tommy Fury, I'm trying actually for his, because I don't know the boxing weight classes, so I guess he's competed at cruiserweight and he's competed
there's about fucking 5,000. There's about 5,000 weight classes.
Are they the same size? This is what I'm trying to get from all this.
No, they're far from the same size.
Tommy Fury's way bigger?
Fury's way bigger, way taller, way heavier,
well, he's not taller.
way more experienced.
He's 6 feet tall.
Tommy?
Yeah.
Yeah, the other guy's shorter. I don't know what he is, but maybe someone looked that up. But
Jake Paul's 6'1", Tommy Fury is 6'4". I'm just saying, and also you're
talking about Jake and Tommy. Yeah, no, they're about the same size.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So and he was part of.
And they box kind of similarly because they're both raw. They're both still novices, if you will, in their boxing career. So that would be a good matchup. And with him being on that card, being on the undercard, there's a bit of sizzle there. Maybe a lot of people saw him fight and might make sense.
Well, look, good for Jake Paul. Do you think Jake Paul has a future in boxing? Just final note on this, and then we'll move on and we'll wrap up somewhat soon. But do you think he has a real promising career in the sport of professional boxing?
He's had 4 fights. If he continues progressing at the rate he's progressing now. Oh, by the way, we're going to play this because this was in the fucking notes. The clip of Dana White at the post-fight press conference Saturday night. And I got to say, this is a funny clip of Dana because I think it's John Morgan from MMA Junkie says to Dana, hey, Jake Paul said, next time he sees you or when he sees you, he's going to knock you out. And can we play that clip? Harrington put it in the notes, Brian, because this kind of relates to the question that you're asking about Jake's next opponent. Listen to this.
Jake Paul keeps mentioning your name. He says he's going to knock you out if he runs across you in Vegas. So are you tuning in and cheering for Tyron tomorrow?
It actually makes sense. I'm 52 years old. I'm in the age bracket of guys he fights. So, I could see him wanting to fight me. That's all he fights are 50-year-olds. Get in line. There's plenty of people that would like to assault me. Get in line. It's a long fucking line, buddy. You're going to be waiting for a while.
Oh, that's pretty fucking good. That's pretty funny. And he's right. See, that's the thing. He does fight older guys. So to answer your question, in terms of progressing his boxing career, if he wants to continue making money and doing these big paydays, then he needs someone with a bit of star value. Lower level boxers don't have the star value. They're not known. There's only one now that I can think of, that's Tommy Fury. So that does make all the sense. Go on.
Did you see the Conor McGregor tweet?
I'm salivating.
Yeah, just simply cryptic. I'm salivating. Obviously about this, but then Jake Paul came out and said, get back to the gym and win or some shit like that.
Sober up or something, yeah.
Which is crazy. But look, that. What about that? And I know we spent a lot of time talking about Conor, but that almost seems like a fight that now should happen. Like now, it seems like if they're gonna do it, now's almost the time.
Well, the thing is, Jake Paul has a smart bunch of people around him. I know his manager. I know some of his team. I was talking to him at the weekend. They're smart, switched-on individuals. Very, very smart people. He hasn't got a Mickey Mouse team around him. Same with Conor. Audi and Paradigm Sports Management. They are a very, very professional outfit. The only way, though, well, you never know. It happened with Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather, so maybe there could be a co-promotion, although the UFC aren't really into the business of doing that. And certainly when Jake's out there threatening to knock out Dana White, Dana likes, he's a businessman, you know what I mean? So he'd leave the emotion out of it. But the only way I would really see that happening is if when Conor's fought out his UFC contract, and he'd have to do their own promotion, you know, which might happen. But that would, I don't know how many fights Conor has on his contract. I have no knowledge of that stuff whatsoever. But that would have to happen first, in my opinion.
Where there's a will, there's a way, right?
Exactly.
And
never say never.
If Conor and Jake Paul wanted to fight each other, New Year's Eve this year, if they wanted that to happen, that's a possibility. That's not crazy. And I've seen, you know, we watched it happen with Mayweather. You just mentioned that. The UFC would obviously have to not only give him permission, but take a piece of it. But Jake Paul versus Conor McGregor,
That's a big fight.
There's nobody you're going to put Conor against that's going to sort of draw that sort of like, because at this point it's like, no offense to Conor, it's not shitting on it at all, but he's really had somewhat of a fall from grace with MMA, and I don't think people are going to tune in because Conor McGregor can beat any man in front of it. It's a tough, and so you got to give him guys that are lower ranked, which doesn't really make sense for the career of Conor McGregor, right? This is a guy, his foe, just in terms of pay-per-view generating dollars. I mean, massive.
No, massive. It's one of the biggest. It's one of the biggest you could do, and I hate to say that.
It may be the biggest fight of all time. If they did that right now, I'll say that right now. Without maybe the biggest fight of all time.
There's a potential for that because who was I talking to yesterday? Oh, it was someone about the potential pay-per-view buys of this thing, and they were like, "Well, it's not going to get that many," because the person I was talking to said the amount of money Tyrone might make if it does X amount of pay-per-view buys, and someone else I was talking to said he's not going to do that many. I said, well, I don't know, and I know that this isn't how it works. Just because I have 1.9 million people follow me on Instagram, that doesn't mean that when I do something, I'm gonna have 1.9 million sales. Social media does not cross over to monetary spend. Simple as that. That does not work. Although there will be a certain element of that. And Jake Paul, I don't know how many followers he has on Instagram. A lot. I know he has 20-odd million YouTube subscribers, right? So you take all that following, and then you take McGregor's following. You know, there is a potential, as I say, for ridiculous pay-per-view buys, and everybody involved makes a shit ton of money.
I mean, wow. Dana White buys his son another yacht off that fight. If those two guys want to fight, if I'm all parties involved, I'm saying, guys, let's make this happen right now. They're the same dickhead. They have the same haircut.
Yeah, they're both dickheads. That's a fact. And also, it actually would be good for Conor to come back in a non-mixed martial arts fight, given what happened to his leg. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily want to come back and be doing the wrestling. You don't want to be doing the kicking, the takedowns, the jiu-jitsu. Let that heal up. Boxing, hands only, lots of footwork, but no wrestling, no takedowns, no kicks, no too much trauma on the legs. Get his mojo back. Fight Jake Paul. You know, get the fucking dust off the cobwebs. Get his mojo back, and then come back to the UFC with an extra $150 million, $200 million in his bank account. I mean, that's not a bad scenario, actually. In fact, if I'm Conor McGregor, that's what I'm doing.
That is what I'm doing, doggy. And not for nothing, at this point, it's not the same sort of quote-unquote blemish. Like, even Ben Askren has to be going, all right, cool. Thank God. Like, Ben Askren, it sucks.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Because I think it was much more of a blemish on Jake Paul's career to get starched on Ben Askren's career to get starched that way by Jake Paul, when it was just this guy who hadn't fought anybody. Now that he's showing more potential, he beat Tyron, who's an actual real fighter. You know, I feel.
No, I see what you're saying. Askren wants Jake to go on and fucking destroy everybody. He's like, see? I was
a killer.
Guy's incredible.
He's not even human.
The guy's sloppy. He's tall, he's young, he's got cardio, he's got a gas tank. But I'm done. I don't think I can continue this conversation anymore. Okay, I can only dedicate so much of my time to
you
it.
Give me this speech at the end of every Jake Paul fight. Bisping's like winded. He's done. It's almost like you look like you're just physically exhausted with Jake Paul.
That's it. No, I was just there last night. I was surrounded by it all. I got to tell you, fun crowd. That was a fun audience as well.
Yeah.
A lot of loud, colourful, extravagantly dressed people making a lot of noise.
Puerto Ricans.
Yeah, I was sitting there exhausted, just like, oh God, can I just get this fucking done? And I want to go to sleep. But fun crowd, fun time. Brian Lewis.
Well, I was gonna say I gotta wrap this up, but somewhat quickly. I got a couple minutes left here.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, do we have any questions? If you didn't rudely interrupt me, this is how we wrap this up here.
Bisping,
you know what I mean, Brian?
See you in England.
Oh God, let's go, Brian. Oh, by the way, so when we're in England on that tour, You'll have your fight in a few weeks, or you'll be behaving yourself.
Yeah, I'm not drinking. I mean,
Good.
like, you know, a
The
cheeky little
occasional
drinker,
one.
you know.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Because every I'm getting hit up by so many people going, "Oh, dude, you're gonna be in Dublin? Oh, great, we're gonna hang out after the show." Blah 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 blah. Then I've got tons of people in London. "Oh shit, we're coming to the show afterwards, mate. We'll catch up." And then it's every night. And then in Manchester they're saying it. In Birmingham they're saying it. It's like, no, it's a tight schedule. It's night after night after night. I can't show up by fucking night. Think, "Hey, everyone." No, boys.
I have an easy gig. I'm doing 15, 20 minutes of warming the crowd up, and then I don't have to do anything else, right? I'm done.
You're gonna come out at the end with the microphone, go around all the crowd, we'll do some crowd work, Q&A. Yeah, it's easy for you. I'm gonna stand up there for 90 minutes and dazzle everybody, right? I can't do that hungover, so I'm abstaining from alcohol the whole time.
You're doing a 90-minute show?
I don't know if it's 90. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Bless your soul.
Ooh, baby. Listen, one thing I can talk about is myself. I'm an egomaniac, so it's easy. So yeah, but the last night, I've been offered a DJ set at a nightclub, a nice nightclub in Glasgow. I don't know if we should do it or not. I think we should just go and enjoy ourselves without having to have the hassle of actually DJing somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, fuck
Here's the
DJ.
thing, you're going to be annoyed that you took it.
No, I am, because I'll be like, we're done. And now it's like, oh God, I've got to do that other thing. For what? A little bit of cash. I'd rather just enjoy the moment and we go and enjoy ourselves. Brian.
I might try to book a night or two doing like a headlining set while I'm in England, because I've never performed that. I know a lot of Legion of Skanks fans are out there that want to see it. So I'll let
You're going to struggle for the time, though, is what I'm saying.
What do you mean?
Well,
I think we have 2 nights off.
Yeah, there's one or two. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, there's one or two. Brian, with a question to wrap this bad boy up.
Yeah, we have a question from a new contributor who's never once before sent in a question. Not once.
Shoot your questions to bympod@gmail.com. Is Ari Shafir? Who is it?
Oh my God, Roland Vixer.
Hello, Louis. This is Walter Lanze from Europe. And Michael, for this question, I need you to because this question is only for Louis. Louis, I'm putting you on the spot right now. Do you remember Michael Bisping's full name?
Ooh. Michael Galen.
The full name, he said. Full name.
Michael Galen.
I've just revoked your participation certificate in Tales from the Octagon.
Michael Galen. Patrick Bisping.
Way off. Not even close. Anybody wants to warm up for me on Tales of the Octagon? And by the way, Lewis, there was a potential he wasn't going to be there. I've got a short list of people. If you guys want to come, hit me up. Lewis isn't coming anyway.
He was already hitting up other people.
No, I wasn't. I was dedicating some thought to it because you were about to leave me in the lurch. You know what I mean?
I wasn't leaving you in the lurch. I had to make some decisions.
You were Lewis the Lurch Lever, is what you were always.
Lewis the Lurch Lever with Billy the Bastard.
Street Bastard. The Bourbon Street Bastard versus Lewis the Lurch Lever.
What is your full name?
Tag team. I don't really want to say it because I'm giving away personal deets, but Michael Gavin Joseph Galen Bisping.
Michael Gavin Joseph Galen Bisping. I just remember
Would you like my bank details and my social security number, my national insurance number, and all that good stuff as well? You know, if you really want to go down this.
Can I be honest with you? One time when you were upstairs sleeping when I was at your house,
yeah,
I put your Rolex on. Just saw this.
Yeah. Nice, good. Glad you liked it. All right. Are we done?
We're done. Thank you for watching. We'll be back on Thursday with another show. Fights this weekend, right?
Yeah, you know, massive fight card this weekend. Darren Till taking on Derek Brunson. We've got tons of British guys on there as well. I'm excited for that. The British invasion of Las Vegas. Maybe Mackenzie Dern joining us on the show as well. She's got a first main event coming up. We'll have a guest on Thursday either way. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Tell your friends, subscribe, all that good stuff. Lewis, pleasure as always. And yeah, take care. See you on Thursday.
Bam.
Wrong time. And now, weighing in out of the blue corner, Josh the Punk Thompson. 100%. And on the other mic, he weighs in from the red corner, Big John McCarthy.
Hello, everyone. Again, it is us, myself, John McCarthy, and the real punk, Josh Thompson, coming to you live with the latest edition of the Weighing In podcast. We've got some things to talk about. We had Tyron Woodley against Jake Paul. I know that the word's not enough, but it actually happened. We got to talk about what happened because there was some things going on there that might not have been quite right. Tyron had the chance to beat him. Probably didn't punch enough. Talk to Josh, see what you said. You were doing the fight companion. Did you have fun? And did you survive Quentin Rampage Jackson?
Man, Quentin made the show. It was fun. He was fun. He was, I've been around him a lot throughout our careers and stuff, but, just being around him when it's like the shtick is not around, he's a great guy. He's an absolute great guy.
He's fantastic.
Been around him from a long time ago, and we talked about it a little bit on the show. I was helping Rob McCullough get ready for one of his WC fights. And I was already the Strikeforce World Champion, so I was heading down there, go down there and help him train all the time. He was a good guy. We fought back in the WFA. And so after that, we kind of just reached out to each other and like, hey, he hit me up one time asking if I would come down and kind of help him train. I think it was for, I want to say it was for the fight he won the title, but then like later on he fought Jamie Varner for.
WC.
And then I think, yeah, in the WC. So, but yeah, we, cool guy, great guy, been around forever. But Quentin was fun to be around back then, and this was a great time for us to talk about old stories, pride stories, UFC stories, whatever, fight stories in general. He's got a lot of great stories, and it was fun. It was good to have him on. He's, it was good. It was just great. It was great to be around somebody that like I can relate to in terms of history of the sport.
Yeah, because you're
been
both
around
old.
so long. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Thanks, buddy.
Dude,
that's
my whole thing. Like
that's
everyone I relate to is they're all old.
Well, except for me, but it's probably because we're old in the sport. I mean, really, if you think about it, I'm not like, I am considered one of the older guys in the sport. I'm not fighting anymore, but, there was the original generation of the Hoyts and the Colemans and those guys,
the beginners,
right? The beginners, the legends, like the original legends, the OGs, we call them the OGs. There was them, and then you had there was like a group in the middle. It was like Marco Huas and Paul Varlins, and then Frank Shamrock kind of came towards the end of that. And then Frank was that next generation, and then it was us. So I guess you would say we were kind of like the fourth. I was kind of in that fourth generation of fighters.
I think you're the third generation. Give
Are you?
Third generation. Yeah, because if you take a look, it's Hoist, and you had guys like Mark Coleman, Dan Severn, Don Fry. That's really that beginner one. And then after UFC 10, really, you're looking at, you had the Randy Couture's and the Chuck Liddell. Randy came into UFC 30, Chuck came into UFC 17. And there was that generation, and you were right, you were that next grouping. You were the guys that came in right after them. So, yeah, you're the third generation, baby.
You know what I think about, man? I think about guys like, I would have loved to have seen guys like Frank Shamrock fight, not Tito, but Chuck Liddell, just certain guys like that.
Way too big.
We fought Tito.
Yeah, but again, hold on, and you got to go back. Look, you did, but you did it a la Floyd Mayweather fighting Canelo, because he fought Tito when Tito was susceptible to not knowing how to be. He knew how to be a wrestler. He was, he would throw on his feet, but he didn't have a whole lot of technique to it, and he did not know how to pace himself. He didn't understand. He was getting everybody out of there fairly fast, it seemed like. Then he got into a couple longer fights, but when Frank fought him at a time when Frank was way smarter in the sport than Tito was that time, and that's the way he beat him.
That's rare to hear somebody say that. That's rare. Oh man, no, but it really had nothing to do with like, smart wise. I don't know about that. What I would say is that he knew that he could beat him, and this is the fight IQ situation where he knew he could beat him with just conditioning. He knew that Tito was used to muscling people around. He knew that Tito was able to, control people that way. Well, if Frank, after training with him for several years, he's one of those guys that's just hard to hold down. Slippery, really slippery. I don't think that guy had any hair on his body, like his chest, his arms, like no hair on his body whatsoever. You try to grab him, he was just like, just slipped away.
Yeah,
so
I looked at, when I rolled with Frank, I said he was like a gnat. He was the guy, he never felt, he wasn't heavy on top of you, or anything like that, but he just moved and bounced. He was always trying, and if you got on top of him, he never stopped trying to move. He was the guy that used that gnat that's not trying to move and trying to squirm his way into another position. Called him gnat. He was great at it.
No, he was. Yeah, he was so hard to hold down. He knew it. I mean, that was fun. Like, so many stories about when he started training with Javier Mendez. He told and he asked Javier, "Hey, you got to work with me for the Kevin Jackson." He's like, "Oh yeah, easy." And Javier's like, "Huh? This guy's he's like an Olympian." He's
flipping gold medalist.
Gold medalist. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah. He's like, wrestlers, they put their arms on the ground. He's like, as soon as he takes me down, he's like, I'm an armbar him. Just like clockwork.
And 14 seconds later?
Yeah. Just like clockwork. You're like, oh, shit, this is for real. So, yeah. I mean, he was one of those sneaky guys. He was real good on the neck, too. Nasty good on the neck. He's good at leg locks. You know, he's just the heel hook. And I think he ended up tearing Alan Goa's knee out with the heel hook. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
he was one of the best
actually
guys
popped his ankle in Pancrase when Alan Goes went there. It was a great go between the two. People, a lot of people never got it. It was really good. And he ended up hurting Alan bad. Alan stuck in there, never said a word, just kept going.
People don't know this. I was told by him. I don't know. I had never looked it up in research. But Frank's very first fight was Boss Root.
Yes.
Isn't that the craziest shit
I know. You look and you go.
His very first fight was fucking Boss Root, and he beat him.
And that tells you exactly what Kent was as your brother.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, you're my older brother. Supposed to be looking out for me. Let me put you against Boss Root. We'll see if you're made out. Yeah, this is fucking crazy. I think they fought 3 times. Like throughout their career.
They did. It was Frank won the first one, then Boss won the next.
Yeah, I think that's what Frank said. Yeah. A lot of history, man. So when I was listening to Quentin tell stories, just about Pride, the Yakuza, the things that they had said, and then it's funny because then I heard Brennan told the story about when he was fighting in Brazil, and the Brazilians came in and kind of cornered him and said, "Hey, we'll give you $50,000 to wear this shirt or whatever after the fight." And so they gave him the shirt, and he's like, "Okay, well, how do I get paid?" He's like, "What we're gonna do is we're gonna come in your hotel room. We only know the key. We only know the code to your safe in your hotel room. You put the money in there." He's like, "And then after, if you lose, we come back and we grab the money. If you win, we leave the money in there." I was like, he comes home. He's like all upset. He comes back to the hotel. He gets all upset. And all of a sudden, 20, 30 minutes after he gets to the hotel, bang, 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 because he lost. Bang. Bang, bang, bang. Guys come in, code, take the money out. Sorry, bro, leave. That was it. Oh. I'm like, oh shit. There's 50 grand in there. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, that stuff hurt. Yeah, that was. But I mean, it was just great to hear some of the stories. We were talking about, because they asked us about, the brown paper bags with Pride, if we got paid that way. And I was like, yeah. That's how I got paid. Because I was in the Tokyo Hilton. Yeah, I was in the Nagoya Hilton and I was in the Tokyo Hilton. And they must have owned it or something, because both times they blocked off the lobby. No one was allowed in there. They had 2 guys in black suits, white shirts, black ties, standing there. There was one guy sitting on the couch, a bunch of brown bags all on the couch next to him or on the floor and on the table. And then you walked up, he said, they put your bag in front of you and said, "Here it is." And then, and the guy even, he told me, the guy told me to count it. But the other, Brent Quinton said, he's like, when I went to count it, he's like, they got offended. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I said, "Quinn, but you got paid a lot more money than I did." So they were probably like, "Shit, man, this is gonna take this dude a long time to count all this damn money." Shit. But yeah. Anyways, great times, great. I hope we get to do it again with him, man. He was just absolutely amazing. Great stuff. But
so
hey,
what do you think of the fight? Let's get into
Jake Paul,
Tyron Woodley.
Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley. I mean, look, I'm going to be honest. It did not go.
No,
and I'm gonna
lie to me, please lie to me.
No, I'm gonna be honest, to everyone. Look, because unlike John, I like to say when I was wrong. Okay, so when I was last week, I was wrong. I didn't think after the third round he would really. I figured he would slow down. I thought he would punch himself out. I didn't think he'd be getting in boxing shape is a different type of shape. But Jake Paul's output wasn't much better. Like, he was sticking the jab, sure, but he wasn't really throwing a lot more than T would. He was just a busier fighter, moving on the outside, keeping him at bay, touching with the jab, and maybe the occasional 1-2, couple little hooks here and there. But overall, T Wood did way better than I thought, especially after the third round. And he shot himself in the foot, John. I mean, the bottom line is, that fight was for him to win. It was for him to lose, I should say. He lost that fight based on him just not throwing. All he had to do was throw more, and he would have won that fight. I didn't have it a split decision. I had it for Jake Paul. I don't remember what this. I had it. I want to say I had it 4-2. 4-2. No, 5.
That would
sorry.
be 6 rounds.
6-4. Sorry, 6-2.
5-3?
6-2. Math. You know
6-2?
math.
Okay.
You know math.
5-3, 6-2. It's all good.
I was trying to remember if it was 6 rounds or 8 rounds. It was 8 rounds. But no, I had it 6-2. But look, some of those rounds were way closer than they were really close, and all he had to do was throw a little bit more, and he would have won that fight. And you were talking about, I didn't know this when the ropes hold you up, that that's considered a knockdown.
That was a knockdown. And look, this is where you look at. Here, I'm going to get myself in trouble again. When you have a big showdown, and you have, I'm sure those guys are really good guys, and they did a good job overall. But you have a guy that had, before the show, because they were saying he was 8 professional fighters, 19 professional fighters. The other guy had 5 professional fighters. When you're putting them in that situation with that pressure, they're not going to get everything right. The one thing that you didn't get right, when Jake Paul got hit and the ropes held him up, meaning that if the ropes were not there, he would have hit the ground. It was a knockdown that should have been called knockdown by the referee, meaning that Tyron would have won that round 10-8 on the scorecard of those judges, because there was nothing that Jake Paul did with the rest of the round that made it where he would have brought it back. That is a given. You get a knockdown, that's a home run in boxing. And it should have been called knockdown. Mistake on the referee's part. That could have changed the fight right there as far as, scoring wise. The one already had it for Tyron. But I look at it the same way as you. Tyron, you let that fight go. You had it. Because you had him tired. You had him in positions where he was the guy that was backing up. He was the guy that was not able to control the pace of the fight. You were the one pushing the pace. But the one thing that he reverted back almost immediately. Take a look at his stance. Take a look at how square he was compared to what you'll see of Canelo or of a guy that's a real boxer. Look at the guy that was in the fight before. I want to say Marino Love. Look at how bladed he is, because you're taking away one side away from your opponent. You can't hit you back. You're cut in that split going down the middle, and you made yourself an easier target for him to hit you with those jabs to the body and what he was trying to hit you with. It was just part of, I understand it. This is what you've done for so long as an MMA fighter, because you have to, because of takedowns and things. It's a different stance. But if he just had more output, he just didn't throw enough. You've got to throw. If you're not throwing, you're not winning. You've got to throw. And I think that was the big difference in it. I think if he, had another chance at it, I don't think Jake Paul would take that fight again. No, he knows now. It's like, oops, I got a guy that was hesitant and didn't come after me the way he should have, and he lucked himself, into a win. He lucked himself into a fact that Tyron just didn't have the output to take that fight from him, because it was there for the take.
Yeah, what I don't understand is someone like Tyron's experience is this. You can hear him breathing heavy. We could see it from the TV where I was like, he's exhausted.
He was
Jake Paul is
man.
tired. And then when you started touching him a little bit here and there, don't get me wrong, Jake Paul showed a lot of grit. There was a lot of grit in there. He took that heavy shot against the rope, a couple big right hands against the ropes. And then when he got sat between the ropes a little bit there, he took some big shots. I was very surprised that I would thought for sure that Twinkle the bitch was going to come out of his asshole and he was going to start folding. That's what I thought. I thought Poodle Hair was going to start to fold, but T Wood just didn't get after him. Like when he rocked him, sat him in the ropes a little bit, he started shaking his hand. Bro, get after him. There's a lot on the line right now. Every fucking MMA, all of us, all of us MMA fighters are like, get him. Just put him on his ass. Go.
How many times did you see Tyron throw it? Because he never threw a 3-punch combination.
No.
I mean, did he? It was 1-2, 1-1-2.
Yeah.
And then he would crush his space like an MMA guy coming in, and he was initiating the clinch when he had landed the clean shot. And you go, Tyron, you're killing me, dude. This is the difference between boxing and MMA. And it was just something that he has to learn. You know, he has to make those adjustments. And if he was able to make those adjustments, it would have been a completely different.
Yeah. Yeah, he was closing the distance, like you said, too much. But that comes from the wrestling background and the MMA background. Because what happens is you close the distance knowing that, hey, once I throw my combinations, I can grab you. You know, and so that was the frustrating part. It was T Wood's fight to win, and he lost it just based off the inactivity. That was one. Two is
Ion guide your
I don't know what his guy we couldn't hear the fight because of YouTube before watching it. We can't play anything, you know, so we'll get taken down. So on the fight companion, I was thinking to myself, I wanted to hear what his corners were saying. Your corner's got to be telling you these rounds are so close. I don't know if you're winning.
His corner was not telling him anything that they shouldn't have. They were telling him exactly, look, you're not going after him. I need more out of you. I need you to go after him. Look, he's tired. Go after him. I need more output. Throw more. They're telling him. It just, he was stuck in that mode.
Welcome, Dave.
They shook in the ring afterwards, said something about like after you get the tattoo, we'll do it again. But then Jake Paul came out and said he's retired. So it's like he's pulling. This is what's funny. He's pulling the Conor McGregor stuff. He's pulling pages out of everyone's book a little bit. He did the whole lick the glove like BJ Penn. I mean, you could tell he just sat at home and just started like writing up all the shit that a lot of the greats did. It was just like, what can I do to mimic them? You know, because he doesn't have anything of his own. And so that just be like BJ. Did you see what BJ wrote? BJ wrote something along the lines of like, he says, "This is real, and see my hands. There's blood on it. Don't ever fucking copy me again, you pussy." Like it's just, I love it. But you know, I mean, whatever. I thought for sure when he started getting clipped with big shots, I thought Jake's speaker was going to start tightening up a little bit more, and he was going to start willing away and just withering away and just falling under the pressure.
But he didn't, and you got to give him credit for it.
I do. I'm giving him a ton of credit for that. I am a lot. I'm giving him a ton of credit. He fought someone with a lot of experience. I thought he fought a good fight. There's nothing wrong. I mean, he knew that he was either slightly ahead or the rounds were close, but he felt like his output was more. He did everything he was supposed to do. It was T Wood that just, I don't know what he was doing or what he was thinking, but he had moments in the fight. He landed the harder, cleaner shots throughout the fight. He had the hardest shots of the fight, for sure, no doubt. But they just weren't enough. There wasn't enough.
But this is where we say, you didn't lose the fight. You lost the boxing match.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. You lost the outpointed you. When you were winning the fighting part, you were landing heavy shots at times. That fourth round, again, the fourth round, it should have been a knockdown. That would have changed things up a lot. But, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, I understand why Tyron wants another one. I think if he goes back and looks at it, he's going to see how he let rounds slip by not throwing. I honestly, there's no way there's going to be a rematch.
No, there's no way. I don't think so either. And I don't think a lot of people, honestly, really care to see a rematch. T Wood does because it's T Wood, and he feels like he should have won that fight. But the other thing is that everyone's like, nah. Like, it was close, but it wasn't active enough for it to be like a knockdown drag-out where people were like going to line up to pay for it again. Yeah, now, that's the next question, though. Who does Jake Paul fight next?
I think they showed it's going to be a guy named Tommy Fury.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have the skill set right now to fight real well either.
No. No, I don't like. I don't want to. I'm not gonna pay to watch that fight. There's just no way. I watched T Wood because he has the MMA backing, but I mean, he's got the power, he's speed, all those things that I thought. He was obviously a little bit undersized, not as much as I would have thought, but she was definitely the shorter fighter. You know, stocky, strong, those things. But Tommy Fury's not. He's not. I don't know. It could be just a battle of the two of them not being. They're not great boxers, but I mean,
Anthony Taylor, the guy has fought at
135,
mostly 145, mostly 145. He's gone up to 155, and he's fighting a guy at freaking 190 pounds. Come on.
Well, let's talk about Tommy Fury's. Pull up Tommy Fury's record. One of the guys he fought was like 2-120 or some shit, or 12 wins, 12 wins and 120 losses. What fucking commissions are allowing this guy to keep fighting? Whoever that guy
England,
is.
Baby. That's England.
Jeez, look at the guy. Where's the guy's record?
British boxing count.
No, go. Is that him? Yeah. One of his guys, some guy he fought. Record too. No. There was a guy that we pulled up on Brennan's show.
Oh, you would.
No, he's not on shirt. It wouldn't be on shirt. It's boxing.
No, it'd be on box record. Go to box record.
And you typing in Tommy Fury?
Yep. Type in Tommy
By the
Fury.
way, Podcast Dave is gone today, so bear with us, ladies and gentlemen, because Gian is here. Everyone knows how I feel about Gian when he's on the freaking computer and he starts pulling up shit that we're not even talking about. There's a guy in there with a record.
There you go, Tommy Fury. Go to the top. There you go.
Yeah, that guy, Tommy Farr. No, go. What are you doing?
Yeah. No, right there.
Yeah, he's 10, 102, and 3. No, the next guy up, Callum I. 0 wins, 26 losses, and 2 fucking draws. No, the next guy after that, 2 wins, 26 losses, and 0 draws. Next guy, 0 and 11. Next guy, 0 and 9. Next guy, ooh, wow, 2 and 0.
Next guy, 0 and 1.
0 and 1. Unbelievable, man.
I love it.
But I will say this, though. This kid's outpunted the coverage when it comes to good looks. Jesus. He walked into the cage.
If you're Tyson, his brother,
jeez.
One of them got all the boxing experience and one of them got all the looks.
John, which one would you want? Would you want the boxing or would you want the good looks?
Oh, dude, I'll take the boxing
Really?
experience. I've gone through life like this. What are you talking about? I'm used to it.
Well. That's true.
Okay.
Man. Everyone, it's funny. I asked Shop the same thing, and he goes, "Oh man, I'd take the boxing for sure." He's like, "You look how much money Fury's got." I'm like, "Yeah, but this kid could get a modeling job, making really damn good money too. He's pretty well built. He's got a good look to him. Crystal, what are they like? Greenish blue eyes or whatever." I'm not
now you're getting into the color of his eyes. Boy, you were really
jealous.
checking him out.
I want to know. They have different dads, but same mom. Yeah. And then I saw Tyson Fury's dad. This guy's enormous. He's huge. He's like 6'2", or 6'3", 6'4", something like that. Anyways, big guy as well. I see where Tyson is. But anyways, look, overall though, and I'm being honest, this fight was way better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't think that Jake Paul and T Wood, I thought it was going to be one where T Wood kind of dominated the first 2-3 rounds, and then I thought he would kind of like slow down and peter out and just not do what he did, just not be active. Yep. But he had moments, even in the later rounds, where I was like, just go more. But look, this is what you get though with older fighters, John. And I was one of them for a while. You're almost, I don't know if it's you're trying to conserve energy or you just feel like the more exchanges you get into, the more chances you're going to get hit and then potentially get knocked out or or hurt or rocked or whatever it is. Because when I was younger, I didn't give two shits. But as I got older, I started caring about how many times I got hit. Because I realized the hits didn't feel the same. And at 39, I wonder if T was feeling that a little bit. Because his output should have been there, man.
You can't attack that.
Figure permesso? No, mutore acolo când îți zgâriești.
Pariază pe super pasiune.
Should have been.
he had moments in that fight. I was like, you have this. You got to keep going. Just didn't do it. He lost. He beat himself. Jake Paul didn't beat him. He beat himself.
I agree. That's the way I looked at it. I thought in the end, Tyron's going to go back and look at it and go, I just gave that.
You can't go, though, from Tyron to Tommy Fury. I'm sorry. You can't do it. I have no interest in watching that fight. It's a step backwards.
Oh.
I don't think that fight sells.
It is. It's a total step backwards. But here's the problem. As Jake Paul, you've got to keep on now stepping up into that next category for people to actually care. Because the only way that the Tommy Fury thing works is Tommy Fury's got a lot of people from the UK based upon his reality TV stuff he's done. They care about him, but it's not going to carry that much.
No.
So I look at that fight. That's not one that Showtime put on the pay-per-view.
Well, Showtime doesn't like to leave the country either a whole lot.
And they're not going to get good pay-per-view numbers on it.
Yeah, because they don't like to. They don't really care to leave the country a whole lot unless it's unless it's a huge name. Now, don't get me wrong, Jake Paul's becoming a big name, but he's not a Canelo. He's not a Tyson Fury. He's not a Deontay Wilder. He's not that person. And so until I think he gets to that level, which he may, I don't know. In terms of, I don't think he'll ever be a world champion. But I think he's doing the right things. And he's got the money machine of Showtime behind him. All the lead up for this stuff was done very well by Showtime. They did a great job, and I'm not being a homer. I actually, even with the Bellator stuff, when they do their promos, they're phenomenal, man. They do great promos for the events.
Yeah,
they're just
good work.
Yeah, they do good work. So overall, though, I mean, I thought it was a way better fight than I thought, and I think T Wood let it slip away, man. It's upsetting as an MMA fighter, former MMA fighter, and then a friend of his, and just someone he's training with. It's a little frustrating. I want to see him go out with a win. All right, well, hey, let's get into the next thing. What's the next thing, Gian? Speaking of the mic, please.
UFC fight next, 190. Brunson versus Till.
191.
All right. Well, what do you think? Let's talk about the main event. We'll get into the main event. I'm going to talk about Molly McCann, because Molly McCann's my girl. She's my dog.
Meatball Molly.
I love her, man. She's the energy, the excitement. She's just fucking so fun to be around. Great person. All around great person. But let's talk about Derek Brunson and Darren Till.
I think it's a good matchup. You're looking at basically that stand-up versus grappler, because in my opinion, for Derek Brunson to win this fight, he's got to get Till to the ground. He's got to do work on the ground. Slows Till down, damages him, makes it to where he's not a puncher. Derek Brunson just goes after him in the stand-up. It's not going to be a good night. Darren Till, no matter what anyone wants to say, look at, dude, the guy's stand-up is crisp. He's sharp. He's got power in his hands. He's even now, he was a big 170. He's still a big 185. So it's not like he's going to be at a size disadvantage. Strength-wise, he matches up well with Derek Brunson. Derek's got the better grappling. But again, getting somebody down is going to burn energy, and we've seen that Derek in 5-round fights, he can burn out. So I look at this as, Darren Till, this is your chance to really step it up, and you're taking on a guy who's ranked ahead of you. Brunson, you're looking to he's trying to get that next bump into that top. And if he gets this win, that puts him in the top 5.
Yeah, this is what I think. I think Darren Till, if he can just make Derek Brunson work for every single takedown, he's going to have a good chance of beating him. Because, like you said, Derek Brunson has a tendency to slow down, especially now as he's gotten a little bit older. He's actually, it's taking more energy out of him to get takedowns. And he's shooting less, too. He's almost like that Yoel Romero type thing, where he used to wrestle all the time when he was first coming up, and he still got tired. But he was just a grinder. Someone just out-wrestled people and just put them on their back and was just making them work. As he's gotten older, though, his stand-up's gotten better as he's gotten older as well.
Yeah.
But his wrestling, though, is taking a back seat, which means now it's even harder to wrestle for a full 5 rounds or even a full 3 rounds. I've seen him get tired within a 3-round time span. Like 2 rounds, and he's exhausted. So if Darren Till can make him work for every single takedown and stay busy from the bottom and make him work to hold him down, I think he's got a good chance of potentially getting him out of there by the end of the third, maybe even in the 4th. It's going to be a tough fight, don't get me wrong. But Darren Till can't afford to be on bottom and just not doing anything. He's got to be active and busy. If he's active and busy, you're going to see Brunson start having some issues.
Yeah, but I think since Brunson, switched up his training and he's been at Sanford doing training with those guys, he has showed a marked improvement in his output, fight IQ of when to turn it on and when to not, push hard and take down, when to let it go. He's been making really smart decisions. He needs to make those smart decisions and he can win this fight. He makes those smart decisions, he'll beat Darren Till. If he doesn't, I think Darren Till's going to get it.
Pull up Darren Till. The 3 spots. Not Darren Till, sorry, Derek Brunson.
He's fought a who's who.
Yeah. No, I know he has. But his last fight, his last couple fights, but the Kevin Holland fight, he was getting tired. He was getting tired towards the end of that one as well.
Yep.
The Edmund Shabazian one, that was the main event, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was 3 rounds. He looked good in that fight, but then I couldn't tell whether Shabazian was just too much for him because that was Shabazian's first main event, correct?
That was his first loss.
Yeah, his first loss in his first main event. So I think it was just too much for him. And then his next fight, he didn't look great either, Shabazian. But in that fight, Brunson looked good. But then the next fight, when he fought Kevin Holland, he started getting tired. He was getting tired also in that 3rd round.
Right.
Yeah, from trying to take
but
down after
Holland
takedown.
wasn't doing anything to get himself up, so it made it a little bit easier. And that's the difference of if Till gets taken down, he needs to work and make Brunson have to work hard to keep him down or get himself back to his feet.
We just talked about this fight. A similar fight to this is Tito and Frank Shamrock. He's got to fight him just like that.
Yep.
Just Darren Till's got way better stand-up than Frank Shamrock. But,
a little bit more power.
Yeah, a lot more power, and he's got faster, better kicks and better hands, and pretty much got way better at everything on the feet than Frank Shamrock. But he just got to make him work from the bottom. Everything he does, he's got to make him think about what he's doing, make him control the wrist, make him put his weight over him, make him work, make him frustrated on the top. We even talked to him a little bit. Things like that gets people. It got to me a couple times. And Frank Shamrock was the best at doing that. You would tell me. I know he did it in the gym, but you said he used to do it a lot.
Did it the entire time.
And then, the guy even told me, the guy told me to count it. But the other, Frank Clinton said, he's like, when I went to count it, he's like, they got offended. I was like, yeah, I said, Quinn, but you got paid a lot more money than I did. So they were probably like, shit, man, this is going to take this dude a long time to count all this damn money. Shit. But, yeah. Anyways, great times. Great. I hope we get to do it again with him. He was just absolutely amazing. Great stuff.
But hey, what do you think of the fight? Let's get into
T Wood.
Tyron Woodley.
Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley. I mean, look, I'm going to be honest. It did not go.
No,
and I'm gonna,
lie to me. Please, lie to me.
No, I'm going to be honest to everyone. Look, because unlike John, I like to say when I was wrong. Okay, so when I was last week, I was wrong. I didn't think after the 3rd round T Wood really. I figured he would slow down. I thought he would punch himself out. I didn't think he'd be getting in boxing shape is a different type of shape. But Jake Paul's output wasn't much better. Like, he was sticking the jab, sure, but he wasn't really throwing a lot more than T Wood. He was just a busier fighter, moving on the outside, keeping him at bay, touching with the jab, and maybe the occasional 1-2, a couple little hooks here and there. But overall, T Wood did way better than I thought, especially after the 3rd round. And he shot himself in the foot, John. I mean, the bottom line is that fight was for him to win. It was for him to lose, I should say. He lost that fight based on him just not throwing. All he had to do was throw more, and he would have won that fight. I didn't have it a split decision. I had it for Jake Paul. I don't remember this, but I had it. I want to say I had it 4-2. 4-2, yeah. No, 5.
That would be
sorry.
6 rounds.
6-4. Sorry, 6-2. 6-2. Math. You know 6-2? Math.
Okay.
You know math.
5-3, 6-2. It's all good.
I was trying to remember if it was 6 rounds or 8 rounds. It was 8 rounds. But no, I had it 6-2. But look, some of those rounds were way closer than it should. Than they were really close, and all he had to do was throw a little bit more, and he would have won that fight. And you were talking about I didn't know this when the ropes hold you up, that that's considered a knockdown.
That was a knockdown. This is where you're looking. Here, I'm going to get myself in trouble again. when you have a big show like that, and you have, I'm sure those guys are really good guys, and they did a good job overall. But you have a guy that had, before the show, because they were saying his 18th professional fighter, his 19th professional fighter. The other guy had 5 professional fighters. And you're putting them in that situation with that pressure. They're not going to get everything right. And the one thing that he didn't get right, when Jake Paul got hit and the ropes held him up, meaning that if the ropes were not there, he would have hit the ground. It was a knockdown. It should have been called a knockdown by the referee, meaning that Tyron would have won that round 10-8 on the scorecard for those judges, because there was nothing that Jake Paul did with the rest of the round that made it where he would have brought it back. That is a given. You get a knockdown, that's a home run in boxing. And should have been called a knockdown. A mistake on the referee's part. That could have changed the fight right there as far as, scoring wise. The one already had it with Tyron. But I look at it the same way as you. Tyron, you let that fight go. You had it. Because you had him tired. You had him in positions where he was the guy that was backing up. He was the guy that was not able to control the pace of the fight. You were the one pushing the pace. But the one thing that he reverted back almost immediately. Take a look at his stance. Take a look at how square he was compared to what you'll see in Canelo or of a guy that's a real boxer. Look at the guy that was in the fight before, Marino Love or something like that. Look at how bladed he is. Because you're taking away one side away from your opponent. You can't hit you back. You're cut in that split going down the middle. And you made yourself an easier target for him to hit you with those jabs to the body and what he was trying to hit you with. It was just part of, I understand it. This is what you've done for so long as an MMA fighter, because you have to, because of takedowns and things. It's a different stance. But if he just had more output, he just didn't throw enough. You've got to throw. If you're not throwing, you're not winning. You've got to throw. And I think that was the big difference in it. I think if he, had another chance at it, I don't think Jake Paul would take that fight again. He knows now. It's like, oops, I got a guy that was hesitant, didn't come after me the way he should have, and he lucked himself into a win. He lucked himself into a fact that Tyron just didn't have the output to take that fight because it was there for the taking.
Yeah, what I don't understand is someone like Tyron's experience is this. You can hear him breathing heavy. We could see it from the TV. I was like, he's exhausted.
He was
Jake
tired,
Paul was tired. And then when you started touching him a little bit here and there, don't get me wrong, Jake Paul showed a lot of grit. There was a lot of grit in there. He took that heavy shot against the rope, a couple big right hands against the ropes. And then when he got sat between the ropes a little bit there, he took some big shots. I was very surprised that I would thought for sure that Twinkle the bitch was going to come out of his asshole and he was going to start folding. That's what I thought. I thought Poodle Hair was going to start to fold, but T Wood just didn't get after him. Like when he rocked him, sat him in the ropes a little bit, he started shaking his hand. Bro, get after him. There's a lot on the line right now. Every fucking MMA, all of us MMA fighters are like, get him. Just put him on his ass. Go.
How many times did you see Tyron throw it? He never threw a 3-punch combination. I mean, did he? It was 1-2, 1, 1-2. And then he would crush his space like an MMA guy coming in, and he was initiating the clinch when he had landed the clean shot. And you go, Tyron, you're killing me, dude. This is the difference between boxing and MMA. And it was just something that he has to learn. I think he has to make those adjustments. And if he was able to make those adjustments, it would have been a completely different fight.
Yeah, he was closing the distance, like you said, too much. But that comes from the wrestling background and the MMA background, because what happens is you close the distance knowing that, hey, once I throw my combinations, I can grab you. And so that was the frustrating part. It was T Wood's fight to win, and he lost it just based off the inactivity. That was one. Two is, I don't know what we couldn't hear the fight because of YouTube. If we're watching it, we can't play anything, so we'll get taken down. So on the fight companion, I was thinking to myself, I wanted to hear what his corners were saying. your corner's got to be telling you these rounds are so close. I don't know if you're winning.
His corner was not telling him anything that they shouldn't have. They were telling him look, you're not going after him. I need more out of you. I need you to go after him. Look, he's tired. Go after him. I need more output. Throw more. They're telling him. It's just that he was stuck in that mode.
They shook in the ring afterwards, said something about like after you get the tattoo, we'll do it again. But then Jake Paul came out and said he's retired. So it's like he's pulling. This is what's funny. He's pulling the Conor McGregor stuff. He's pulling pages out of everyone's book a little bit. He did the whole lick the glove like BJ Penn. I mean, you could tell he just sat at home and just started like writing up all the shit that a lot of the greats did. It was just like, what can I do to mimic them? You know, because he doesn't have anything of his own. And so that just be like BJ. Did you see what BJ wrote? BJ wrote something along the lines of like, he says, "This is real, and see my hands. There's blood on it. Don't ever fucking copy me again, you pussy." Like it's just, I love it. But you know, I mean, whatever. I thought for sure when he started getting clipped with big shots, I thought Jake's sphincter was going to start tightening up a little bit more, and he was going to start willing away and just withering away and just falling under the pressure.
But he didn't. And you got to give him credit for it.
I do. I'm giving him a ton of credit for that. I am a lot. I'm giving him a ton of credit. He fought someone with a lot of experience. I thought he fought a good fight. There's nothing wrong. I mean, he did what he knew that he was either slightly ahead or the rounds were close, but he felt like his output was more. He did everything he was supposed to do. It was T. Wood that just, I don't know what he was doing or what he was thinking, but he had moments in the fight. He landed the harder, cleaner shots throughout the fight. He had the hardest shots of the fight, for sure, no doubt. But they just weren't enough. There wasn't enough.
But this is where we say, you didn't lose the fight. You lost the boxing match.
Nice day, isn't it?
That's exactly what happened, is you lost a boxing match. He outpointed you. When you were winning the fighting part, you were landing heavy, shots at times. That fourth round, again, the fourth round, it should have been a knockdown. That would have changed things up a lot, but it is what it is, and I understand why Tyron wants another one. I think if he goes back and looks at it, he's going to see how he let rounds just slip by not throwing. I honestly, there's no way there's going to be a rematch of that fight.
No, there's no way. I don't think so either. And I don't think a lot of people, honestly, really care to see a rematch. T. Wood does because it's T. Wood, and he feels like he should have won that fight. But the other thing is that everyone's like, nah. Like, it was close, but it wasn't active enough for it to be like a knockdown drag out where people are like going to line up to pay for it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, that's the next question, though, is who does Jake Paul fight next?
I think they showed that. It's going to be a guy named Tommy Fury.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have the skill set right now to fight real well either.
No. Nuh-uh. No, I don't want to. I'm not going to pay to watch that fight. There's just no way. I watched T. Wood because he has the MMA backing, but, I mean, he's got the power, he's speed, all those things that I thought. He was obviously a little bit undersized. Not as much as I would have thought, but she was definitely the shoulder fighter. Stocky, strong, those things. But Tommy Fury's not. He's not. I don't know. It could be just a battle of the two of them they're not great boxers, but I mean.
Anthony Taylor, the guy he fought, has fought at 135.
135.
Mostly 145. Mostly 145. He's gone up to 155. Okay, and he's fighting a guy at freaking 190 pounds. Come on.
Well, let's talk about Tommy Fury's. Pull up Tommy Fury's record. One of the guys he fought was like 2-120 or some shit, or 12. 12 wins. 12 wins and 120 losses. What fucking commissions are allowing this guy to keep fighting? Whoever that guy
England,
is.
Baby. That's England.
Jeez. Look at the guy. Where's the guy's record?
British Boxing Council.
No, go.
Love that.
Is that him?
Yeah.
So one of his guys, some guy he fought, record too. No. There was a guy that we pulled up on Brennan's show.
Oh, you would.
No, he's not on shirt. It wouldn't be on shirt. It's boxing.
No, it'd be on BoxRec.
Oh, boxing.
Go to BoxRec and it would tell you.
And you typing in Tommy Fury?
Yep. Type in Tommy
By
Fury.
the way,
it'll give you his...
Podcast Dave is gone today, so bear with us, ladies and gentlemen, because Gian is here. Everyone knows how I feel about Gian when he's on the freaking computer and he starts pulling up shit that we're not even talking about.
I love it.
There's a guy in there with a record.
There you go, Tommy Fury. Go to the top.
there we go.
There you go.
Yeah, that guy, Tommy Farr. No, go. What are you doing?
No, right there.
Yeah, he's 10, 102, and 3. No, the next guy up, Callum
Down the
I.
bottom.
0 wins, 26 losses, and 2 fucking draws. No, the next guy after that, 2 wins, 26 losses,
26
and
losses.
zero draws. Next guy, 0 and 11. Next guy, 0 and 9. Next guy, ooh, wow, 2 and 0. Fuck.
Next guy, 0 and 1.
0 and 1. Unbelievable, man.
I love those.
But I will say this, though. This kid's outpunted the coverage when it comes to good looks. Jesus. He walked into the cage.
If you're Tyson, his brother,
Jeez.
one of them got all the boxing experience and one of them got all the looks.
John, which one would you want? Would you want the boxing or would you want the good looks?
Oh, dude, I'll take the boxing experience.
Really?
I've gone through life like this. What are you talking about? I'm used to it.
That's true as well. That's true
Okay.
as well. Man. Everyone, it's funny. I asked Shab the same thing, and he goes, "Oh man, I take the boxing for sure." He's like, "You look how much money Fury's got." I'm like, "Yeah, but this kid could get a modeling job, making really damn good money too." He's pretty well built. He's got a good look to him.
He's
crystal. What are they like? Greenish blue eyes or whatever. I'm not. Gonna
now
lie,
you're
man.
getting into the color of his eyes, boy. You
I was
were
a little
really
jealous.
checking him out.
I want to know. They have different dads, but same mom. Yeah. And then I saw Tyson Fury's dad. Guy's enormous. He's huge. He's like 6'2", or 6'3", 6'4", something like that. Anyways, big guy as well. I see where Tyson gets it from. But anyways, look, overall though, and I'm being honest, this fight was way better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't think that Jake Paul and T. Wood, I thought it was going to be one where T. Wood kind of dominated the first 2-3 rounds, and then I thought he would kind of like slow down and peter out and just not do what he did, just not be active.
Yep.
But he had moments, even in the later rounds, where I was like, just go more. But look, this is what you get though with older fighters, John. And I was one of them for a while. You're almost, I don't know if it's you're trying to conserve energy or you just feel like the more exchanges you get into, the more chances you're going to get hit and then potentially get knocked out or hurt or rocked or whatever it is. Because when I was younger, I didn't give two shits. But as I got older, I started caring about how many times I got hit. Because I realized that the hits didn't feel the same. And at 39, I wonder if T was feeling that a little bit. Because his output should have been there, man. He had moments in that fight. I was like, you have this. You got to keep going. He just didn't do it. He lost. He beat himself. Jake Paul didn't beat him. He beat himself.
I agree. That's the way I looked at it. I thought in the end, Tyron's going to go back and look at it and go, I just gave that.
You can't go, though, from Tyron to Tommy Fury. I'm sorry. You can't do it. I have no interest in watching that fight. It's a step backwards. I don't think that fight sells.
It is. It's a total step backwards. But here's the problem. As, Jake Paul, you've got to keep on now stepping up into that next category for people to actually care. Because the only way that the Tommy Fury thing works is Tommy Fury's got a lot of people from the UK based upon his reality.
May the shadows never find you.
Yeah,
they care about him, but it's not going to carry that much.
No.
And so I look at that fight. That's not one that Showtime, who put on the pay-per-view.
Well, Showtime doesn't like to leave the country either a whole lot,
and they're not going to get good pay-per-view numbers out of it. So.
Yeah, because they don't like to. They don't really care to leave the country a whole lot unless it's unless it's a huge name. Now, don't get me wrong, Jake Paul's becoming a big name. But he's not a Canelo. He's not a Tyson Fury. He's not a Deontay Wilder. He's not that person. And so until I think he gets to that level, which he may, I don't know. In terms of, I don't think he'll ever be a world champion. But I think he's doing the right things. And he's got the money machine of Showtime behind him. All the lead up for this stuff was done very well by Showtime. They did a great job. And I'm not being a homer. I actually, even with the Bellator stuff, when they do their promos, they're phenomenal, man. They do great promos for the events.
Yeah,
they're just
good work.
Yeah, they do good work. So overall, though, I mean, I thought it was a way better fight than I thought, and I think T Wood let it slip away, man. It's upsetting as an MMA fighter, former MMA fighter, and then a friend of his, and just someone he's trained with. It's a little frustrating. I wanted to see him come out with a win. All right, well, hey, let's get into the next thing. What's the next thing, Gian? Speaking of the mic, please.
UFC Fight Night 191. Brunson versus Till.
191.
All right. Well, what do you think? Let's talk about the main event. I want to. We'll get into the main event. I'm going to talk about Molly McCann because Molly McCann's my girl. She's my dog.
Meatball Molly.
I love her, man. She's the energy, the excitement. She's just fucking so fun to be around. Great person, all around great person. Yeah, but let's talk about Derek.